We're on to our final athlete in this mini-series. We're taking a look at the one and only Mitch Hooper.
Mitch's first competition this year also happened to be his first ever international competition, which was 2022 World's Strongest Man. And there he managed to win the group, beating Brian Shaw, who has won his group every year since 2010. And he went on to come 8th in the final. After that, Mitch competed at the Giants Live Strongman Classic, where he placed 2nd. Then he went on to do the Giants Live World Open, where he was also 2nd. He competed at the 2022 Shaw Classic and placed 3rd overall. Then he did the 2022 Arnold UK, which he won. And most recently, he won the Giants Live World Tour Final. So quite the incredible rookie year for Mitch.
Mitch has been absolutely, like you say, incredible. First year competing internationally, he's done 6 shows. He's only been off the podium once, and that was at his very first show, which was World's Strongest Man. Yeah. Made the final of Worlds on his first appearance, won an event in the final, and since then he's gone on and got better every single contest. His performances have been better. In the last 2 shows he's won. Going into this, he's feeling good.
So looking at the events then, Lozzie, the first event being the 18-inch deadlift for reps using 1,000 pounds. Now, Mitch, he kind of first came onto the spotlight because of his huge deadlift, didn't he?
Yeah, he'd done some huge deadlifts in training and in some smaller competitions over in Australia. And he's backed that up throughout this year. His deadlift, he always scores big points on, no matter if it's an axle deadlift, deadlift for max. And I think an elevated deadlift like this is not going to be any different. I'm expecting good performance from him. I'm not convinced he wins this event.
No.
I think Mitch is in a position a little bit like Martin's Lissis, and that there's no real big weakness. As long as he can start the competition well with some decent points, it'll give him confidence and he can go on. And I really don't see a weak event for him.
Event number 2 is the SEER dumbbell medley, where the athletes will have to lift 4 dumbbells, and then if they make it to the 4th, they will have to rep it. Now, a couple of months ago, Mitch said he would have considered this one of his weaknesses, but he's done it a couple of times in competition since then, and like you say, he gets better each time, doesn't he?
He really has. Very much like his deadlift, his performances on dumbbell have been very, very good. There's no competition that you can look at and say he had a poor performance. He's scored big points every single time he's done this event. Hasn't necessarily won the event in competitions, but always placing high, and a high placing here, he'll give him those points and he'll accumulate them and build towards the overall score.
Then the last event of day 1 is the Husafel sandbag carry for distance. And I don't think we've seen him do, we've seen him do like the carrying stones. Have we seen him do a shield or something?
No, not so far in his international career, although I've got the pleasure of coaching Mitch, so he sends me the training videos. I've seen what he's been doing, carrying some very, very heavy and awkward objects for decent distances. Okay. He's got a great engine on him in terms of he's a fit, athletic athlete, obviously coming from marathon running. Who comes from marathon running into strongman? But that is going to help him on this type of event. He's very mentally strong. He's got good long levers as well, so he'll be able to get his hands around the object. I think once again he can score big points. Not necessarily win the event, but he can be up there, top 3, top 4. That's what he needs to do if he wants to get on the podium and really have a chance of winning overall.
So event 1 of day 2 is the roller coaster, and I've not hidden the fact I'm very excited about this, and more pictures are coming out, and it is massive. I can't wait. So it's 3 sandbags loaded into the cart, which the athletes will then pull arm over arm style up a hill.
Yeah, this is an event that is just going to be so cool to watch. Maybe not so fun for the athletes to do, but Mitch has been training this event hard as well. He's good at loading type events, and he's built well for arm over arm. Tall, decent grip, long rangey levers. Yeah. He's got all the tools to be good at this. Training has gone solidly. I think out of all the events, this is a hard one to predict with a lot of the athletes, but again, I feel confident that Mitch can score big points. Not necessarily win the event, but I do think he's just going to keep being consistent, keep performing well, and that's something we've come to get quite accustomed to with Mitch. He's just very solid. He's learnt very well at how to manage his energy expenditure, how he's going to kind of structure the competition, when he should really push hard on an event, when he should hold back a little bit. He's getting really good at putting a whole show together, and I think
it's funny though, because he's had to learn that so quickly, hasn't he? He doesn't have those years of working up through the novice and
this
all
is
of that
true,
scene.
but he does have someone with 20 years experience backing him. So
I know. So next is an event I'm really looking forward to watching Mitch do. It's the yoke into log, and we know how incredible Mitch is at yoke. 500 kilos he ran in like 5.7 seconds or something stupid at the Arnold UK. Log lift is solid for him as well. So how do you think he's going to do on this event?
Yeah, I really think this is the event he can win. When you look at all the events, this is the event he's got to be backing himself to take maximum points in. He's exceptional at the yoke. I feel the better you are at yoke in this event, the more energy you have for the log.
Yeah.
He's not the best log lifter in the competition.
No.
You've got some monster log pressers like Trey, you've got Bobby Thompson in there. But the easier you can make that yoke, the more energy you have for the logs. We saw that last year. Guys that were under the yoke for a long time took a lot more out of them. In training, he's done some excellent times, quicker than what was done last year. Obviously, different implements, we can't compare, but he's got all the tools to go and smash this event. I think Mitch can take maximum points on this one.
And then finally, ending on the inver stones over the hitching posts. And again, I don't think we've seen Mitch do natural stones, have we?
No, but he's got the experience with Atlas stones now, and we've seen progress every single competition he's done. I'd say, once again, you know, there's more established stone lifters in this competition, but I think the fact that it's the natural stones could help him. It's not going to come down to a complete sprint like, say, an Atlas stone run sometimes does, especially like the Giants Live stones. You make one fraction of a mistake and it costs you. Whereas this, the athletes really need to figure the stones out, make sure their hands are in the right position, and kind of focus on being smooth transitioning to each stone. He's a very powerful stone lifter, just needs a bit more practice in terms of that efficiency, getting through stones quickly. So I think the fact that it's the natural stones could potentially help him. And as I've always said, it comes down to what position you are in once it comes to the last event. If he's in there fighting for the title with the likes of Martins, Novikov, anyone else that can kind of push into that battle, he's going to give 100%. And I feel, again, not necessarily a win for him on this one, but I believe he can score good points. Top 3, top 4, that's where he's got to be looking to place.
So it's interesting because going through those events now, it kind of feels like we're talking about Martins. We had similar conversations about Martins, didn't we? We didn't necessarily think he'd win many events, but we knew he wouldn't drop down very far on any event either.
Absolutely. That's the kind of athlete that Mitch is. Maybe not the best at a lot of events, but very, very solid. And Martins, like you say, is exactly the same. Martins only won the Stones last year to win the competition. He only won the Stones to win the Arnolds as well.
Yeah.
And Mitch has kind of put himself in that kind of routine. His last competition that he won, he only won one event. But he wasn't out of the top 4 on any events. And that's what makes these guys so good. I'd probably say, out of the 3 big seeds, Novikov has the most strengths, but Martins and Mitch probably have less weaknesses.
Yes,
which
totally
could be
agree.
really, really interesting when it comes to an overall. I think Mitch has to be one of the favourites for this comp. I'm predicting a top 3 position for Mitch Hooper. He's performed exceptionally well all year long. Keeps getting better. He wants to finish the year strong so then he can go away and work hard towards 2023. Yeah, I think Mitch is definitely top 3. Potentially could win. It's going to be a battle, but I'd be surprised if he's not in that top 3.
I would too. So there we go then, our 10th and final athlete. We still have to do our prediction videos where we're going to...
We will do official predictions.
You're going to make me do top 5, and that's really hard in a lineup of 10. That's
Maybe we'll do top 5 and who we think will be leading after day 1.
Oh man, you're mean. So the Rogue Invitational starts this Friday. So Friday and Saturday is the Strongman competition. Sunday is the Rogue Record Breakers. You can watch the competition live and free on YouTube. And Rogue have already scheduled the stream. So I'm going to include those links in the video description below. And you guys can set the notifications so you don't miss it.
I hope you've enjoyed this mini-series. We enjoyed doing it. We can't wait to get out to the Rogue Invitational. Travelling tomorrow.
Yes.
It's going to be an incredible competition. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you guys next time.